I am on the hunt for Peeps Oreos. It is the day before Easter, and I've really been craving Peeps Oreos. I don't really like Oreos. The white ones are okay, and Peeps Oreos are the white ones. And I'm not a huge fan of Peeps. I'll eat Peeps. They're not terrible to me. I'd rather have Peeps than Oreos. But for some reason, these Peeps Oreos are just calling my name. I haven't been able to find any. I went to Target. They're not at my usual Walmart. So I went to Target. They weren't there. I went on Amazon and I was like, I'll just buy some from Amazon, but people are charging like 20 bucks for a small little pack on there when at the store they're supposed to be 3 bucks. So I'm gonna check a couple Walmarts, and in the meantime I'll tell you a story. As some of you may know, my first motorcycle was a Kawasaki Ninja 250, a 2012 that I bought in 2012. That was my first official motorcycle. It was the awesome green, like candy apple green. I don't think that's what they called it, but it was the really nice green color they had for only that year. It had T-Rex Racing frame sliders installed when I bought it, and that's why I love T-Rex Racing frame sliders so much. Those frame sliders saved me from a few drops. Probably gonna get cancer from that stupid waste facility right there. Usually there's just giant plumes of smoke coming from that thing, filling up the entire sky. This was a sweet little Ninja, and I had it for a good year and a half, 2 years I think. I put about 8,000 miles on it. When I bought it, I actually lived in an apartment complex with some friends, and it was a pretty secluded apartment complex on a decent side of town, and I would park it underneath the stairs in front of our doorway. We were on the bottom floor, and eventually that didn't work out, so I moved, and I eventually moved in with my girlfriend at the time. And she had a nice big place with a garage, so that was fine. My bike was well protected in a garage. And then after that, we moved into a very cheap little apartment, 1 bedroom. And it was in an okay part of town, I thought, but it was kind of ratty. Like, the apartments across the street from it were awesome. So I thought, oh, they look kind of crappy, but they're cheap. I'll do anything to save some money. So we lived there for a while, and everything was fine. And I would park my motorcycle like right outside in the parking lot where I could see it easily from all my windows. And I never had a problem. I would usually be on it. I would ride that thing everywhere, no matter what. Back then I had pretty low maintenance hair, so I didn't care if I put on my helmet and took it off. It didn't do much, but now I do a nice little style, so I can't ride my bike everywhere because sometimes you just gotta look good, you know. But one night I actually went to Warp Tour in St. Louis, and I came back, and then that same night I woke up the next morning and my motorcycle was on its side. Oh man, that was a quick stop. Jeez, people. Got a bunch of idiots over here. Where was I? Woke up, my motorcycle was on its side. I went out there, picked it up. I couldn't find anything around it that would point to any specific person or anything. It was fine because of the frame slider. That was the last time it saved my bike. And I was very unhappy. I immediately ordered like a disc lock with a loud alarm on it, which I still have. Very cool. I don't use it much. because I usually only ride to school and then like to friends' houses and stuff, and for leisure. Places where it's very unlikely to get stolen. The next 2 nights in a row, I stayed up like all night looking out the window with my gun. I talked to a couple of my neighbors that I knew just from around. I asked them if they saw anything. No, they didn't. What I think happened was they were in the middle of stealing it, and they didn't expect it to have the fork lock maybe, and definitely somebody drove by. It's a pretty high traffic area. Definitely somebody drove by, scared them. They probably took off, just let it fall over. But yeah, the next 2 nights I stayed up all night, watched out the window, nothing at all. And I thought, well, my disc lock will be here sometime. I can't really, I gotta get sleep. I can't just stay up and worry about this all night every night. So I stopped doing that, and it was alright. After about a week, I was like, well, maybe these people were just passing through and it was a one-time thing. They just thought they might try real quick to grab it. So I wasn't too worried. I thought it might be a one-time thing. I parked it a little closer to the building a couple times. Then 2 weeks go by, nothing happens. I was like, yeah, it was just a fluke. They won't be coming back. What an idiot I was. About 2 weeks afterwards, I woke up and my bike was just gone. There was no indication that it had ever been there. There was just nothing. Like no parts broken off of it. The fork lock wasn't broken off right there. Nothing. So I called the police, filed a report. They put a detective on the case, and basically he told me, so many bikes get stolen in Springfield. There's a lot of people doing it. They know what they're doing, and there's a very small chance that your bike's ever going to be found. They straight up told me that. So I was like, okay, whatever. They gave me my detective's number and his information, and I called my insurance company right after that, and they're like, all right, we got to do our little investigation, and then we can get you your money and stuff. Progressive is awesome with stuff like that, by the way. Progressive, they didn't even have a person come out. I think they just talked to the police, made sure I filed a report first, and asked me a couple of questions. And then, like 3 or 4 days later, I got my money. But yeah, I kept an eye out. I put up some, be on the lookout for this bike thing, which, to my knowledge, that never works. I would browse Craigslist, and then one night I was browsing Craigslist and I found somebody selling not too far, maybe an hour away from me, a parted out 2012 Ninja 250, same color. So I was looking at these pictures. He had like the engine, it was completely disassembled. Very weird that would happen. Said everything worked fine, completely disassembled. I was looking through the pictures, and my motorcycle had a scuff, a pretty large scuff on the right mirror, because I accidentally, actually I think it was from when it got laid over, when they were trying to steal it. And it was pretty noticeable, and he had a picture of the mirrors on there, and it was scuffed in the exact same spot. So I called up the detective and I was like, hey, there's this guy, here's his number. No, he didn't have his number on there. It was email only. So I emailed him and I was like, hey, where could I meet you to look at parts of this motorcycle? And I mean, I was less weird than that about it. I was trying to make it seem like it was all normal. Never got a reply from him, but I told the detective, and he's like, all right, we'll get on it. he didn't sound concerned or excited or anything. He didn't care. And I never heard anything back. Like 2 days later, that posting was down. It was no longer on Craigslist. So maybe I was kind of, maybe I made him a bit suspicious with my message. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what it said. But that's my story. I mean, if you have a bike, keep it locked up, do everything you can, but honestly, all you can do is keep passerbys from just picking up your bike, because if someone wants your bike, they'll get your bike. You can't keep a bike from getting stolen. They're too small. There's no really great way to anchor them down. Anything can be cut with the right tools. If someone's out looking for motorcycles to steal, they're gonna have the right tools. You just have to make it to where they don't have enough time, or it's too inconvenient, so they move right on to the next one, which sucks for the next person, but you know, at least your bike's not gone. I'm gonna go find me some peeps. I hate parking in spots like this between two big vehicles. Someone's just gonna try to zoom right in real quick like an idiot, smack my bike. It's happened before to the Ninja 250.